What is up, folks? This is J.R.R, and I have a few more blocks with me. Found some comets in the nether that I took from, so yeah. I am rendering right now, so this is an experiment to see how well my computer can handle it, which looks like not very well. So I'm going to go ahead and put these on here real quick. Well, it looks like it's adjusting. Sorta. Maybe. Yeah. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and put these on here and then fire this baby up. And then I'm going to go ahead and let the rendering finish and then go from there. Because I would like to get some energy flowing into this because that's not enough energy storage. It really isn't. So, yeah, this is going to be adequate, I would say. Oh, you'll see what I'm laughing about in a minute. Because it's kind of crazy. Like, I've built some crazy builds in the past that have stored a ton of power. And in fact, I've probably stored something, you know, that's more power than this. But at the same time, it wasn't all in one single unit. It'd be pretty crazy to build multiple of these things. I wouldn't do that, would I? Alright. So, let's see if I did this right. Because if I did, this is going to be pretty cool. So, I think you just right-click. Nope. Shift right-click. Ah, darn it. So what's wrong with it? Looks right to me. Are all the blocks placed? It says invalid configuration. Alright, so I guess I'm actually going to be figuring out what's wrong with this, so let's look in here. Draconic evolution. Alright. Now when I tested this, the setup should be right. Alright, energy storage multi-block. Alright. 7 tiers, blah blah blah. Are these too far away? That could be. Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Actually, I think that's exactly what's wrong. Alright, so... Wow, this is kind of sad. Alright. Okay, and I need another spot. So let's put you there. And... Come on. Alright, so we'll move this one forward one. Oh, darn it. My hammer. I keep doing that, which is actually kind of frustrating. Shift right, or shift click. Okay. Break that. Okay, yeah, so you have to shift right click to put it down. Did I pick that up? I think so. Alright, there it is. So I'll put you up there. Break that. I'm actually kind of sad because I want it to be a little recessed, these. Because I think it just looks cooler, not being able to fully see them. See like they're, you know, I don't know, being supported by something. I could make some adjustments, but there's not really a lot of room between that and this. So, okay, so still invalid. Alright, so I'm going to cut away and figure out what's wrong with this, so I'll be back in a minute. Alrighty folks, so I had one block missing on one of the corners. I think it should work now, so let's see. Oops. There we go. Awesome. Isn't that cool? I have to say, yeah, that's pretty awesome. And, oh, it's not going to show me how much energy can be stored? What? Oh, there we go. 2.14 trillion RF. Yeah. Oh, gosh. That's kind of crazy. And one multi-block structure. That's pretty awesome. 2.4 trillion. Nice. And I still have plenty of draconium left to do whatever else I want to do. Alright, so I don't have anything in there. What I do need to do, let's just put that in there for the moment. Don't need that yet. Alright, I need some glass. So actually I do need something in here. Okay, just 2 pieces, I think. I already put those back up. Alright, so we should just need to... Yeah, there we go. There's one of them. And the other. Now, I think red... Okay, I think that's giving energy. And this should be taking energy. Well, it's not receiving any. Of course, it could all be going into my charger because I accidentally drained it somehow. It ended up with 0 RF in it. I don't know how though, because it had a ton. Alright, let's take that out. And let's just go ahead and break this. I had a little bit of energy in there, but I want to see if all those furnaces are putting energy into it, because they should be. Alright. Let's go see. Yeah, that's just awesome. Yep, there we go. So 17,000 RF, 46. Awesome. So it is storing energy. Alright, so I would like to go ahead and work on the AE system, but I'm going to wait until my, whatchamacallit, my previous episode is complete before I start doing that to give you guys the best experience, because it looks like it's holding fairly steady around 40 FPS, but I'd like to get that back up to 60. So, alright, so I will see you guys in a second. Alrighty folks, so I've got all that rendering stuff sorted out. So also with this, as you can see now that I've got it set up well, as properly as I can at the moment, I'm going to switch up some stuff down there later on, but see these particles that are going out, and it's also this, I guess that's a kind of like a sea green kind of color. And this one's the orange red, I guess you would say. This is giving power into the big sphere, or as much as it can be in a blocky situation. And this one's taking it. You can see all the particles coming towards this. So that's what's going on with that. And I ended up taking down the normal thermal expansion. I think they were hardened energy cells. Yeah, I think that's right. I think I upgraded them to tier 2. So I took them down for now because I'd like to fill this up first, and then as I get enough redstone, then I'll end up putting all those in. But for now, I just cleared out all the dirt because it was ugly and it was dirt. So yeah, it's just wide open for now. And I'll take care of all the torches at some point. But yeah. Alright, so let's go ahead and get to the AE stuff, because I would like to not have to use hoppers and be able to put more terminals on the system and all that kind of fun stuff. So I did go ahead and not need that. I did go ahead and get some more quartz and all kinds of other materials. So I think I have a decent amount of Certus quartz, the charged stuff. Yeah, I've got 65 now, but I would like to be able to make more. Now, you can find this stuff in the wild, which is how I got this, but you can also charge the normal Certus quartz crystals. So I would like to work on that. So let's type in applied. It doesn't matter if it's capitalized or not, but I did. Okay. So what we need is the charger, which is going to take what? Iron and some fluix crystals, or pure fluix crystals, excuse me. Alright, so I think that's just, yeah, 1 charged, 1 nether, and 1 redstone. Alright, so, well actually, so let's go ahead and do, yeah, 32 sounds fine. That'll actually give us 64, I think. Unfortunately, I can't use the pure ones to make the fluix, but you can use them for all kinds of other stuff. So redstone, okay. And you can throw as many as you want in here. And the same with the seeds when you're growing them. You can throw as many seeds as you want in there. And all the fluix crystals. Actually, it's only 64, but, you know, that's still quite a few. Alright, so fluix crystals. And we're going to need some iron. So let's just toss it in there like that. And we've got ourselves a charger. Now, unfortunately, I can hook this to the system up, you know, all I want. For there, for example. Oh, is it not going to connect? That's weird. Figured it would connect. Oh, it's supposed to. It just won't connect to the side. And that's actually not turning it off. It's probably because I have this disconnected. But, yeah. So we're going to need an ME controller before we can connect everything that we need. Alright, so there's going to be another accelerator right here. So let's go ahead and put it here. And I'll hook that up later and start using it. Okay, so we're going to need an ME controller, which is on here somewhere. It's a matter condenser. It's not what we need. Sometimes finding stuff on here is the hardest thing. Is it going to be on the screen? Nope, and there's 14 more. I'm just not seeing it. I'm sure you're screaming at your screen. It's right there. But unfortunately I can't hear. Oh, there it is. Okay. So we're going to need some skystone blocks, some pure fluix crystals, and some engineering processors. Alright, so I'm going to have to take a little bit to make these because you do have to grow them from the seeds. So I will be back in a moment when we have the pure fluix crystals. Alrighty folks, so I do have the fluix crystals here, but I did want to show you something else that's kind of cool. So if we throw my flux capacitor in here, you can see that the power drain from this is pretty immense. So these particles that are coming off of the big storage unit here are a whole lot larger in number. So, or greater in number, I guess you'd say. But yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. So this needs to charge, but unfortunately this actually holds more than I have, period. So that's something else that we need to work on is power generation, which I have a few ideas for. So, but first we need to work on this. So let's go ahead and, oh yeah, I added 3 more of these just to speed that up a bit. Drains a ton of power, so yeah, not something that you want to have running all the time, but it is very helpful when you want to grow them very quickly. Alright, so apply. Oh, I don't have this. Alright, sort craftable. Okay, let's go ahead and here, search box, NEI synchronized. Okay, so I want to go ahead and just take that out, and we can do applied, and it'll come over here. So let's see, what do we need? Where is it? There we go. So we should have the materials to do that. Alright, so there's the fluix, but why is it not picking up the skystone? We have plenty in here. I think it has to be smelted down, though. I think that's the smelted version. So, okay. Let's go ahead and take... we can just take a full stack, because we have plenty. But I think I actually have some in my chest over there. So let's go ahead and smelt some up for good measure, but we'll check over here in this chest to see. And yes, we do. Alright. So let's go ahead and grab these. And just in case you're curious, that's what it looks like when it's been smelted up. So it's a pretty cool block. I don't know how I really feel about it. I mean, I like it, but I don't know. I just don't know. I think you have to have the right situation to use it. Actually, I think it might work pretty well as... I think it might... Yeah, maybe. Well, I've been looking for something to use for the walls, and this might be the answer. Well, let's just do it like this. There we go. Alright. So, let's go ahead and toss those in there. And we'll go ahead, and I'll just type it down here, actually. Okay. We'll take that. Take that. And we're only going to make one for now, because I don't need more than one at the moment. Will later, but not right now. So, what I'm going to do is... I need to make a way in this room to go up and... Oops. That's the unfortunate side to this pickaxe. Is sometimes you just forget that it's, you know, set the way it is, and you make a big hole in something. Destroy a bunch of wiring. I actually have these like this on purpose, so I can, you know, just do like that and put them back in place. But yeah. What was I gonna do? I was going to put the controller up right here. Now, why am I doing that? Because the reason I am doing this is because I would like to have all of my controllers having from a different side than everything else. And the reason for that is I'm going to have, I mean not controllers, my ME drives. And the reason for that is I'm going to have a lot of drives that are going to be running off of this, but they need their own side. Because each side outputs a certain number of channels. And I will show you exactly how you figure that out. So, we've got some cables here. So, we need some wool. Okay, and let's just make these. Alright, so we've got the cover cable. And I sure hope I'm doing this right, because if I'm not, then I'm wasting a lot of materials. Alright, so let's go ahead and I shouldn't have shift clicked to that, but oh well. Oh, that's what I would use the wool for anyway. What we do need now is, let's go ahead and do applied again. Okay. And I like these little fixtures here. I might actually make some of these. So they're not that expensive, so I will check out those at some point. But let's see here. What am I looking for? I'm looking for the cables. Oh, and Applied Energistics has their own facade system now, so you can still use the old facades out of any other mod that you want to use them from, but they have their own just in case you don't have any other mods installed. Alright, so I'm looking for something that is not a facade. I'm looking for cables. Don't I feel stupid? Alright, so I'm just looking for the ME Smart cable in the normal color, so I guess I will just use this. Alright, so we need the covered cable combined with redstone and glowstone. Alright, so that shouldn't be a problem. I've got a ton of glowstone. And I have a bit of redstone. I don't have all that much, but it's a little bit. And I've got some blocks to back me up later if I need them. Alright, so shift click on that. And make some mana. That's cool. Don't know what it's used for quite yet, but I'm sure we'll get there. Alright, so we have our cables, our smart cables. And what the smart cables do is this really nifty thing. It shows you how many channels you're using. Alright, so we're using 3 channels off of this one. Now off of that side. Now, the channels that we're using are these 2 drives and the terminal. So that's really awesome. Especially when you get into really complicated setups that you're just not sure how many drives you're using. This is a huge help. Now off of this side, we are using none. That doesn't make sense. Does it? It does, because I accidentally disconnected everything that's on this side. So that would make sense. Alright, so on this side we are using 4 channels. So we need to keep track of exactly how many channels we're using because these can only take 8 channels. So there are cables that have many more uses. So that's the dense cables that we need to be looking at for those, but we don't need them quite yet, and they're going to be a lot more expensive. So you can see it takes 4 cables as well as some more redstone and glowstone to make a dense cable. And you're probably saying, well, why not use this one? It's because this is not recognizing that this is supposed to be a color. So if you have a dense green cable, you can use it with water and that'll wash off the color and make it a normal dense cable. So it's just not recognizing the fact that it's supposed to be colored. Alright, so yeah, that's what's up with that. And eventually I'm going to replace them all with these smart cables. Not because it's a whole lot better, but just because it's so much easier to use the smart cables than it is to use these normal flukes cables, just because, well, you can tell exactly where your slots are going. Like, for example, this is actually going to be pretty cool. Alright, so, right here, see, it's only using 1. But here, you can see in a moment that it's using 3 more. So 3 is coming from what I have hooked up to my processing center over here, which is, let's show you real quick, is these. So I don't have these hooked up at the moment, but we've got 1, 2, and 3. And that's what it's using. So if I hook this up, it will be 6. So we see 6 right here. So what happens when you go past 4 is it'll have the white lines between the blue lines. So this has a total of 6, and it can carry a total of 8. So we have 9 on this one. So we can have one more thing on this side before we need to go to the bigger cables, the dense cables. Or we can run something off of another side of this, like say if we connected it, you know, over there. But that would be a big waste of cable. So I believe each side can carry up to, is it 32 channels? It's either 16 or 32. I'll have to look it up real quick to figure out exactly which one it is. But yeah, so this side's only using 3, so that's good. Alright, now I found out that, well, I think I found out, considering that some of my stuff was actually disconnected, might mean that I didn't find out, but I can just go and do that. Yep, it doesn't look like that these are counting as extra channels, so that's good to know. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and run over here. And now that I have all that set up, let's go ahead and make sure this isn't in 3x3 mode and get rid of these hoppers. How primitive, hoppers. Alright, so let's go ahead and drop those in there, and I'll fix the floor later. And what we need to do is make some more interfaces. So let's type in enter. You know, it's not the interface, is it? Yeah, import. Well, it's a V relay. Okay, so bus. Now, why would there be buses? Actually, it looks like there's all kinds of things that have buses. Oh, they're combustible. Bush. Okay, I see. It's the fluid ones. I don't need those. I need the import and export ones. Alright. A little tickle in my throat there. Alright, we've got the export ones here. Okay, I wonder, it's the toggle bus. Okay, so that one works like the previous, I think they were called black cables or something like that. It's the ones that you can toggle whether they're part of the ME system or off. So that could be really useful with these because, you know, you could disconnect these from the system really easily that way. So that's what that is about. And they're gone now, so. Alright, so I'll just type in import, and we're going to need one of these. Alright, so looks like we're going to need a sticky piston. Am I connected? Yes, I am. Okay. So We're going to need some of these. Just make those right now. And we're going to need sticky piston. And should be able to make it. Alright, so import bus. Now we're going to attach that to the back side. Oh, I didn't mean to break that with my pickaxe, but that's okay. So let's just go ahead and do this. We need to attach that to the back. So let's go ahead and run the cable up here like that. Now we're going to need 3 export buses, and I will show you why. So export. Alright, so we're going to need 3 of these, so that means we need to make 2 of these. And it looks like we're going to need some more flux dust. Alright, so let's grab some crystals. And to be honest, I don't know if that's going to work. Let's right click on that. So it looks like it's only going to be normal flux crystals that grind down into it. It's not going to be pure. Okay. Well, that would make sense, but you know, it's worth trying. Alright, so let's throw these in the pulverizer over here, and that should get done pretty quickly. Yep. Alright, and those will be sucked out into the system. And now we should be able to make what we want to. So we're going to do export buses. And do a little more than that. Alright, export. So we're going to need to make 2 sets of these because we're going to need 3. And then we're going to need to do this. So 1, 2, 3. Awesome. And check that off. Alright, so now, and actually I'm going to have to wire this a different way because of the cables, or we can make the dense cables. Actually, to show you the dense cables, I think I will go ahead and do that. Alright, so we're going to need 1 on the top, we're going to need 1 on the right, and we're going to need 1 on the bottom. So let's go ahead and do that. And like that. Alright, so you can see this is already maxed out, so let's go ahead and make the dense cables. Alright, so we've got the smart cables here. So let's just throw a few of those in there. Okay, so let's see. Probably the gray one, that's light gray. Gray. Here we go. And for some reason, it didn't throw those in there like that. Okay, so I think it's supposed to be made like that, isn't it? No? Then what is it? Ah, so you just need normal covered cables. Okay. Well, that's going to be a problem because I don't have any more wool. Okay. So until I say I'm going to have to get his farm set up here pretty soon. How do I want to do this? Because, well, I'll show you exactly what's wrong with this. As soon as I hook even one of these up, it's more than this can handle. So none of it's going to work. So that's a problem. Alright. See, it's already got its 9. So when I hook this up, it's just not going to work like I want it to. Okay, so how about we go like... put this down here. I'll just do this. Like so. And we'll put that like that. Okay, so we're gonna need this to go here instead. Okay. So I can just throw this right here. And I just have this down here, so if I need to get materials for any of that, then I can just grab it from there instead of having to go upstairs. So I did make another one of these survivalist generators. I don't have anything running in it at the moment, but we'll take care of that later because I'm running pretty low on coal and I would like to get some lava running. So we can go from here. Alright, and another reason is I need some more cable. There we go. And I'll just throw these into my inventory. Okay, so we need to connect this, and we need to get out of here to get to the rest of them. Alright, and we'll need one up here. And the reason for this is that, as you can see, they're multi-parts, so that's really cool. These different inputs will come from different sides. Now, any of the sides are going to be for, I believe, this one. Let's check and see. Alright, so, for example, we'll need gold. Actually, let's do silicon. This one. And we'll need this just to test it out. And let's grab some redstone also just to test it out. So that's not going to actually make anything, but so if I put this here, then actually I have more than one of these, and it's going to put it in the top slot. So let me go ahead and remove this. And the right one, I think, is going to put it, yep, right in that redstone slot, which, okay, we'll do like that. And this bottom one is going to be bottom slot. Should be. Oh, I forgot to take this out. Alright. Okay, so the bottom one... Oh, I took all the silicon out. Alright. Yep, is going to put it in the bottom. Alright, so that's going to make it a lot easier because when you're doing this, you can actually only put in one item at a time. So, for example, if I wanted to put a bunch of redstone, it just won't let me do it. So, and automating this is going to save me a lot of energy and time. So that's really awesome. And of course, the import bus that we stuck on the back of here will take out this. So all I have to do is say, hey, this is what I want, and it will do it for me. Alright, so we'll be able to automate it further in a little bit, but I don't want to do the interfaces quite yet because I'd like to make a special setup for that. So for now, we'll just leave it like this, and it's going to be a whole lot better for me in making anything that we need to. Alright. Now let me go ahead and gather a few more materials, and I'll be back with you in just a second. Alright folks, actually it looks like we are past wrapping up time, so I will go ahead and stop here. And next time I would like to do a couple things. I would like to set up some, well, I guess I'll just say lava. I started to say magma because technically it's underground, so it is magma, but I would like to set up some lava generation and have that going from the nether. So we'll set up a lava pump and all other kinds of fun stuff. So I'd like to do that, and I would like to set up some wool gathering as well. So we're going to need a sheep for that. So yeah, I'll probably go sheep hunting between now and then. So until next time, I hope you all have a wonderful day.